Hi friends, a very pleasant good evening and welcome to Oliveboard. I hope all of you are doing great. A very pleasant good evening and welcome to Oliveboard. I hope you can hear me properly. The screen is visible. I am audible to all of you. A quick thumbs up in the chat section would really help me understand that everything is working fine. We'll start this session in a minute. Let all of you join in first. Hi Nitin, good evening. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're preparing properly, Nitin. Okay, hi Shubhendru, hi, good evening. I hope you're preparing, your preparations are in full swing. And if there is any roadblock, if there's any confusion, we'll be having a look at it today. Don't worry. We'll check in detail the next 15-day study plan for RBI Grade B 2023. Don't worry, okay? See, the main reason behind coming up with this particular plan is that when you start your preparations, there are times when you get distracted. There are times when you get confused as to how do you get back on track with your preparation. Okay, so if you guys are confused as to how can I start my preparation for RBI Grade B, or if you feel you are confused 15 days down the line, don't worry, we will have a plan here. I have put up a day-wise plan, in fact, for each one of you. So you can just check this particular plan and make sure that in case you're not preparing well, you can bring your preparation back on track. That is the whole agenda behind today's particular live session. Okay. So how to prepare for GA? Yeah, we'll be addressing those things. Don't worry here. Fine. So in a minute, we'll quickly start this session. So I hope all of you are clear with the agenda as to the next 15 days, how are we going to structure our preparation. After these 15 days, again, we'll come up with June week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 planning, so that in case you get distracted or you're off track, you come back on track with your preparation. Fine? Okay, let's start the session without further ado. So we have just two important pointers for today's session. Okay, the first important pointer is to look at the timeline. Fine, we know how many days are there for the examination, but let's just remind ourselves how many days do we have. Let's not keep waiting and then realize that we don't have enough time to prepare. So that's the first thing that we're going to look at. The second thing we'll be looking at is the detailed study plan. Now this is going to be very important because there are so many working professionals, there are so many freshers, or there are people who are only preparing for the examination after giving 2-3 attempts. So what we will do is we will check a detailed study plan with each and every component attached to your daily schedule. That's the agenda here. Okay, let's move on. Fine. If you have a look at the timeline, we are sitting here. We are talking about 6 solid weeks that we have in our hands. We have 2 weeks of May and we have 4 weeks of June. So today our plan is going to be concerned with only these 2 weeks of May. Right? Now, why are we referring to these 2 weeks of May here? See, if you have started your preparation before, like based on the 60-day study plan that we discussed, you would have studied for 2 weeks by now. Let us assume you haven't started your preparation or there was something that distracted you. Let's say you are starting your preparation fresh today. Okay, that's how we are going to be looking at the plan. The one other important point is, this particular 2 weeks is going to be of prime importance because we'll be preparing for both phase 1 and phase 2. Okay, once we enter the month of June, our concentration is going to be more towards phase 1. Right, so that is a very important point to note. So when we discuss this plan today, we will see how to manage phase 1 and phase 2 together with having a proper balance and making sure you're not missing the chance to qualify the prelims exam. That's also kept in mind while preparing this detailed plan. Okay. Now let's have a look at the pattern quickly. So this is what we'll be looking at. General awareness is important, 80 questions. Okay, I'm not going to elaborate on this because we have seen in a lot of other sessions. Paper 2, phase 2, we know there are 3 papers out there. One important thing I would again mark is we have objective type as well as descriptive type. So 50% objective and 50% is descriptive. That's what we are looking at here. Okay, and we do have a descriptive English paper as well. The interview stage is of 75 marks, and the first stage is qualifying. Second and the third stage, that is phase 2, and interview marks taken together would help us decide the merit list. Okay, fine. Now coming to the crux of today's session that we're going to be having a look at is the 15 days detailed study plan from 16th to 31st of May 2023. Fine. And how are your preparations going? Before that, I want to ask you this particular question, and to answer this question, I want you to know, if you have watched my detailed strategy session, one thing is of prime importance, that to clear phase 1 of RBI Grade B 2023, I have given you a strategy wherein you choose 2 sections. One section is definitely going to be general awareness. The next section that's going to be the key section to clear is decided by you, which is going to be between reasoning or English. Quantitative aptitude, it is advised to be taken care of only to clear the sectional cutoff, but to clear the qualifying overall, the paper, the marks, you need to have GA plus one other section. If you have been attending my live session, you know the agenda, why are we doing this particular thing. So by now, you should have decided GA along with what? Either reasoning or English. So if you haven't decided, then again, this is a red flag or an alarm. Get up, wake up, and just decide which section is going to complement your general awareness section to clear the paper, right? And the other thing is, if you have selected, for example, reasoning, or if you have selected English, by now you should have started practicing questions of that particular section, because it is very important that we are thorough and we are confident enough to clear the prelims exam of RBI Grade B. So by now you should have decided which section along with GA is going to be your super section, okay? And the second thing is, you should have started practice for that particular section, because we need to make sure that we are clearing the qualifying paper, okay? I hope you all are completely in sync with whatever I'm saying. I can see few of you have already, they're mentioning their section, and that's good that you have decided already. Okay. Now let's discuss the study plan in detail. This is what we're going to be doing, right? Now, we have 15 days in our hands. Okay, we will divide these 15 days into smaller brackets, and we will see each day what you guys are going to do. Fine. Now, this is a complete setup that we have. Few of you can make tweaks based on your time availability, or if you have finished a few of these things, then you are obviously ahead of the schedule. You can start including the other things as well. But I am assuming if you were distracted and you could not do substantial preparation in the first 15 days in the month of May, then let's re-strategize our preparation. That's what the study plan is all about. So the first thing, if you see this particular column, we are talking about 16th and 17th. 2 days you're going to be concentrating and giving 6 hours of time each. Okay, so daily 6 hours you need to invest. What are you going to do? You're going to pick any one subject between quant, reasoning, English. Remember, only one subject, and you need to give 2 hours to that particular subject. Okay, if you're somebody who's bothered about not clearing the sectional cutoff for quant, then you might as well choose quantitative aptitude. If you're somebody who's confident in clearing quantitative aptitude sectional cutoff, and you, for example, have chosen reasoning as your super section, then you might as well practice reasoning in these 2 hours. But you need to give 2 hours to one single subject, and don't divide those 2 hours among 3 subjects that are there here, QRE. Okay. The second task that you're going to be doing is you're going to be studying Feb 2023, focusing on both phase 1 and phase 2, right? So if you have been listening to all my strategy sessions, by now you should have understood that if in the GA section, which has 80 marks, right, nearly 30 to 35 marks are those type of questions which are phase 2 related questions, phase 2 related current affairs. In case you haven't watched the GA strategy session, please go back and watch that session, which talks about scoring 55 plus out of 80 in general awareness. And that is the reason we are including phase 1 and phase 2 preparation simultaneously for current affairs. It is going to be useful for you. Right? The other thing is, if you talk about phase 1, what you need to refer? You need to refer RBI Bolt, and related to this RBI Bolt that we provide to our paid subscribers, There is one surprise for all of you. In fact, even who are not enrolled in our course, we have a little surprise which I'll be telling you after this particular session in a while. Okay, and for phase 1 and 2, you need to complete the monthly capsules. Fine, so this is what you need to do for current affairs. Give 2 hours daily, okay, on 16th and 17th. Now I'm repeating myself, there are many students who are confused, who feel the syllabus is overwhelming, who feel I want to do X, Y, Z, W, all these things together. What do I do? How do I clear? If you're struggling with time management, then this is something that we have put up for you, right? And the other thing you need to check here is for phase 2 components, you need to complete General Management 1, give it 2 hours. Okay, if you check our notes, we have divided General Management into 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. So on 16th and 17th, you need to devote time for General Management 1, give it 2 hours, complete it. Do a very quick reading there. Okay, in case you're not able to see this, because I think there's some light issues here, let me tell you, the first column reads day, the second column phase 1 QRE, the third column current affairs, the fourth column phase 2 components. Okay, in case you're not able to see this, let me just read it for you. I think there's some light issues there. I'll take care not to use yellow next time. Fine? Okay. The other thing is, let's move on to the next set here, 18th and 19th of May. You can see this is again weekday. In weekday, I'm giving you total allocation, keeping in mind you might also be a working professional. So I would request you to take 6 hours of time out. It can be 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the evening. Okay, so this is something which you need to somehow plan, right? So 18th and 19th, again, the same thing happens. Pick one more subject and give daily 2 hours. Okay, on Thursday as well as Friday here. Again, we are continuing Feb month because we have just given 2 plus 2 hours here. Okay, so 4 hours have already been allocated here. The next step for 2 days, again 2 hours plus 2 hours, we are again dealing with Feb month. Okay, the next thing is General Management 2. So 1 is over, you need to do 2 and give 2 hours to it. Right, so this is your plan for how many days? 16, 17, 18 and 19th. So this is your 4 days plan here. I hope you guys have understood. It works for beginners as well. It works for beginners also. So don't worry. That's what I told you. I'm assuming you guys missed on the right preparation in the first 2 weeks of May. So don't panic. We have time. Don't panic. That is the reason we are splitting the syllabus into micro level here, so that you guys can, start your preparation again in case you're feeling lost, you don't have anybody to speak to, you don't know how to structure your timetable. So this is how you need to structure your timetable. You can customize it. Okay, let me move on to the next piece here. Now we'll treat weekends a little in a special way, because we have a little more time if it is Saturday or Sunday. Even if you're a working professional and Saturday is a working day for you, you still have Sunday in your hand, right? So for these 2 days combined, you need to spend 10.5 hours. So over the weekend, you need to provide 10.5 hours in total. How is that 10.5 hours going to be spent? Firstly, 3.5 hours you need to work on phase 1 full length mock test. Now is the time you need to focus on full length mock test in one of your weekends, right? But have a note here, 2 hours you will need to give the test and 1.5 hours in analyzing the mock test. If you miss this analyzing portion, then obviously whatever you have given is not completely done. The reason is, once you have submitted the test, you need to see what are the questions that were incorrect and then and there practice those questions. Also, while attempting the examination, there are high chances that you might just, pick some question in a fluke, like on a guess basis. Go back and check what made that particular question correct. Fine, because in the examination, if the same kind of question comes, you need to know how to make it correct, right? So this is the total 3.5 hours for one full length mock test, right? The other thing is current affairs. You need to revise Feb, which you have already invested 4 hours if you remember. Fine, 2 plus 2 4 and 2 plus 2 4, nearly 8 hours. So here you come back, you give 3 hours, you finish Feb month current affairs properly, phase 1 and phase 2. You give 2 more hours of your time and you complete union budget and economic survey. So totally you have spent 5 hours of your time here. So 3.5 hours in completing one full length mock test, 5 hours in completing your current affairs for Feb month, revising union budget, economic survey and union budget is done. Okay. The other part, phase 2 components, since you have already completed general management 1 and 2, now what you need to do is you need to attempt the topic test of this particular chapter, and there is also something called foundation test. Okay, you need to finish both these tests which is pertaining to this particular chapter, and here is one descriptive question for you. These are 2 descriptive questions on management, and I want all of you to attempt these questions, practice these questions. For if you have enrolled in our mentorship program, then these questions will be evaluated and feedback will be given. Your mentors would have already shared a proper schedule which is a little different from this schedule because we have linked the mentorship test as well. So in case you have missed out on the schedule and you're part of the mentorship program, please check with your mentors or just drop a note to the contact person. Right, you already know who's the contact person because as soon as you enroll into the program, you do get a call from us and you have one session with me, right? So you will be getting your answers evaluated. But for others, we have still put in the questions here in case you want to practice, because I would recommend that you write these questions. Okay, and this takes a time of total 2 hours because these are very small tests, and then these 2 descriptive questions are something that you need to write. So when you add 3.5, here 5 and 2, so totally 10.5 hours is something you need to give on 20th and 21st, which is the coming weekend. Okay. See, I just want to advise one thing here. When you start your preparation, there are many times that you go off track with your preparation. It happens a lot of times. You might be working, you have personal issues going on, you have X reason, Y reason, Z reason, many reasons are there. Fine. Now, what you will have to do is you have to calm down and make sure each and every day counts for you. Put your best foot forward each and every day in your preparation, and that is the reason we are discussing 15 days plan here, 2 weeks plan, and I'm not touching June now. Once we are done with 31st of May, we'll come back again, we'll discuss further short plan, say only 1 week plan, so that you guys can keep a track of your preparation. I hope I am making sense to you. Yeah, if you want to take a screenshot, maybe I'll just move this side. I think that will be easy and you can take a screenshot of this particular page here. Okay. Fine. Let me move with the schedule further. Now let's move on to the next week. Okay. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We have a set of 3 days here. Okay. We have a set of 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Every day you need to put in 6 hours. If you are a working professional, divide your time into morning 3, night 3. Somehow you need to make that arrangement. Now is the time to drop everything else and somehow take these 6 hours. If not, at least squeeze in 4 hours. Okay, worst case scenario if you're not finding time. Okay, so how are you going to do this? You have 6 hours in your hands. Again, the same cycle rotates for us. We need to complete any one subject QRE in 2 hours of time. Right, and then you need to start March. March is very important, even more important than Feb. So more focus here should be given. Again, prepare for both phase 1 and phase 2. Go back to the question, why are we preparing for phase 2 as well? Out of 80 marks, 30 to 35 marks worth of questions are related to phase 2 current affairs. So we cannot leave phase 2 current affairs. Why? Because GA is the key section. We need to score more than 55. The paper is easy. That will help us to clear the sectional, the overall cutoff, as well as we need to select one other section apart from GA. So I'm just linking these things as and when I find time. I'm squeezing it in so that you keep recalling the important points. Right? Okay, the next thing is you need to move to the leadership chapter of management. Remember when we started off, I told you the month of May is something wherein you're going to prepare for both phase 1 and phase 2 in a balanced manner. The reason is once you clear phase 1, you just have 21 days to write your phase 2. And we need to reduce the days further because the result will take at least 5-7 days to come out. So if you're somebody who wants to wait for the result, which is not recommended, then obviously, you will have to make sure you utilize this time to prepare for phase 2. Now, monthly capsules are those capsules, if you have taken our course, Learn Pack, or if you have taken our complete plan, you need to go to RBI Current Affairs tab. There's a tab called RBI Current Affairs. Open that tab. On the left hand side, you can see monthly capsules. Those monthly capsules are for phase 2, which also needs to be studied for phase 1. Okay, and there's also a magazine called RBI Bolt, which you need to study. Here we are talking about March. Fine. So let me tell you one other thing is, we have a small surprise, as I told you, which is related to RBI Bolt only, and it is going to do make things little easier for you guys. Fine. Yeah, it is a part of crash course, don't worry. Learn plan, crash course, complete plan, it's a part of all those things. Okay. Now again you need to give daily 2 hours here. Now come to the next set of days here. 25th and 26th. So see, we have come so far right now. We have come already 10 days far. Here what you need to do, again pick one subject, give 2 hours of your time. One subject. Again, moving on, same thing. We are completing March only. We are not deviating here. And we are doing motivation chapter here. Giving it 2 hours. Okay. Now you are daily giving it 2 hours. So how many days we have? We have 2 hours, 2 days here, Thursday and Friday. So it's going to be 2 plus 2. Totally you are giving 4 hours to motivation. The same thing applies here. Okay. So if you want to take a screenshot, I'm again moving to one corner of the smart board here. So you can take a screenshot. In case you are not able to read the first line, I'm sorry, I would not use yellow because of the lighting. I think you're not able to see that. So it's phase 1 QRE, it's current affairs written here, phase 2 components written there. Okay, make sure you are noting these things down. Coming to the next weekend. So imagine we have discussed a complete week this week. Okay, we have discussed Saturday, Sunday. We have discussed the other next week starting, and now we have come to the second weekend in the month of May. It's very important, guys. I know you might think this is overwhelming, but this is the easiest way possible to break it down. If you're feeling lost, please follow this. Don't worry, follow this. Okay. The next thing is we have 27th and 28th May. Now here we are going to take out 12.5 hours. The previous weekend, what did we do? We took out 10.5. We are pushing ourselves a little more, and we are doing 12.5 hours in this particular weekend. What are we doing? The same pattern repeats itself. We are going to again take one full length phase 1 mock test. We are going to attempt the test, and we are going to spend 1.5 hours in analyzing the mock test, because we need to see what are the questions that have gone wrong, and we don't make the same mistake in the paper. What are the questions that you are not able to attempt? See if you can attempt those questions in the paper. Learn the things from the solutions. Mock test is not just a testing tool, it's a learning tool as well. You can learn a lot of things. There are 3 categories you can learn. One is the things that you cannot answer, so learn how you can answer those type of questions. Secondly, what are the questions that you're doing wrong? Okay, you're selecting the wrong answer. Learn from your mistakes. The third thing is there are few questions that you do guesswork, and it becomes correct, right? Your guess becomes right. Go back and see that question, because in the paper you might guess other option which is wrong. So you need to know how did you arrive at that particular correct answer. Okay. The next thing you should do is revise the month of March 2023, phase 1 and phase 2 current affairs, giving 3 hours of your time. Fine. I want you to give 4 hours to government schemes as well. So totally you have 7 hours in your hands here. Okay. So you're giving 3 hours to March, and then you're giving 4 hours to preparing your government schemes. So totally you have 7 hours in your hands. The next thing, let's move here. What did we complete? We have completed leadership and motivation topics in the previous week. So what are we going to do? We are going to be attempting the topic test and foundation test for it. And here are the 2 questions, descriptive questions, which you can practice on your own. So there are 2 questions here. In case you're a part of the mentorship program, don't worry, you will have to write these questions and send to your mentors. They'll evaluate, give you a detailed feedback. Okay. So fine, you can take this question and practice. So 2 questions you need to write, solve these tests here. Fine. So this will again take 2 hours of your time. So totally it's going to be 3.5 plus 7 plus 2, you have 12.5 hours to be spent here. Okay, again I'm going to do one corner of the screen and you can take a screenshot of it. Just take a screenshot of it so that we can continue now. Fine. The last set here that we have. Okay, so here we have the last 3 days of your time in the 15 days plan that we saw, 29th, 30th, 31st. So we have come so far. Now imagine doing this every day. We walked through the plan and I'm just imagining each one of you actually sitting and completing these things daily. You have a setup in front of you. Please complete everything. If you feel you haven't been preparing enough for the last 15 days, it's fine. Start afresh. Don't panic, start afresh. There is a lot of time in our hands. We'll again revisit how are our preparations going in the month of May, that is end week, and we will put up a plan for June. So don't worry about it. Right now, concentrate on the month of May. We need to utilize these 2 weeks to the fullest. Okay. So here we have 29th, 30th and 31st. Again, take any one subject, practice 2 hours, same kind of agenda here. And now you will be focusing on April 2023. Okay, April 2023, I would say focus on the 1st to 15th current affairs. Okay, focus on this. Again, you need to focus both phase 1 and phase 2 monthly capsules plus RBI Bolt. I have removed phase 2 components from 29th, 30 and 31st to make sure you are completing April 1st 15 days because it is important. We are nearing to the examination. Fine. So now what happens is by the end of 15 days, let us revise what we would have completed. If you have watched this particular session till now, you should know what we would have completed by now. Okay. The first thing what we have done is, let me go back. If you talk about phase 1 QRE, you have spent 2 hours daily on one subject, either quant, reasoning or English each day. That's something that you would be doing. The second thing that you would be doing, you would be completing Feb, you would be completing March. Okay, here it is, again revising it on the weekend, and then you will be completing first 15 days of April, phase 1 and phase 2 current affairs. So your Feb is done, your March is done, your April first 15 days is done. Okay, so these are the things you have completed if you follow this particular plan. You have completed union budget, you have completed economic survey, you have spent some 4 to 5 hours on government schemes. So you have done these things, right? Talking about phase 2, what have you done? Okay, for phase 2, you would have completed general management chapter completely. There are 2 parts, you would have written 2 answers. Okay, you would have completed leadership and motivation and you would have written 2 answers. So you would have written 4 descriptive answers properly. You would have completed 3 important chapters: general management, leadership, motivation, 3 very important chapters for your management section. You would have completed that. Okay, and you would have solved tests here. So yeah, this is how your plan looks like. Just give me a quick thumbs up, guys, in the chat section if you are in complete understanding of the plan that we have discussed. No, the RBI Bolt and the monthly capsules are a part of the Learn Plan crash course and the mentorship program. In the mentorship program, you get one-on-one guidance from me and your mentors, and your answers are also evaluated. You also have mentorship tests. Okay, we are closing enrollments very shortly for a mentorship program because we need to guide you step by step, and we have one-on-one sessions, so we don't have much time left. So we'll be closing it very shortly, and after that we'll not be able to take in students there. Okay. For others, I would recommend you to please follow the crash course that we have. The other components are there as part of the crash course, and the crash course also has descriptive answers or questions with evaluation. Okay, not these 2 questions which I mentioned, the other ones, the full length test that we have. Okay, Now, have less time, what is the solution? It's a fact, the time is going one by one. Day is, every day we see there is one day less. We are closer one step further to the date of the phase 1 examination. What is the solution that we have in our hands? Fine, one is obviously we need to work hard, the other is we need to do a little more smart work, okay? And for that, what we have done is we have introduced quick summary notes for you guys along with the detailed notes. Detailed notes are already a part of the course, so we have also come up with the summary notes so that each chapter can be completed within 15 pages. You can revise the chapter in 20 minutes. Okay, so these are the ESI and FM quick summary notes. A note on each chapter is being given, because you might find the notes voluminous at this point of time and we have very less time to complete the syllabus. So that's why this particular component has been introduced. Okay, now there comes a little surprise for all of you, right? We do understand the current affairs are voluminous. Now, I would not say ki don't cover the current affairs. You will have to definitely cover the current affairs. So what we have done is we have come up with a summarized version of RBI Bolt for March 2023, because this month is very important, and for a starter we are providing only this edition for free so that you can at least have an idea what are the areas that you need to cover. The remaining ones remain locked, and those are a part for the learn plan and the crash course students and the mentorship students. So in case you want to access this particular summarized version of RBI Bolt, the link will be pinned in the comment section of this particular video. Okay. If you have any doubt with related to your chapters being unlocked, don't panic. Please drop a mail to support@oliveboard.in. Please don't panic. Just write at the top access issue or some kind of a proper subject line in the email and just drop in your query. We will get it unlocked for you. There might be some problem in the back end, so don't worry if few of the chapters are showing coming soon or something like that. There may be some tech issue. Okay, support@oliveboard.in. The quick summary notes have been updated, like the first few chapters are already done. In the next 15 days, all the chapters would be updated. Don't worry. Okay. So this is a summarized version which our team has created. It's a very beautiful edition, I would say. You can open it up and just have a look at it. It is very crisp and it will help you revise your RBI Bolt. Only this particular edition is going to be open for all. The others would be locked and it would be available only for those who are a part of the course. Okay. And yes, today in fact we have started our crash course. We have 90 plus classes wherein we are making sure that all the sections are covered. Okay, we do have live classes. We also have recorded lectures there. We have the descriptive questions and answers, full length test, objective test, phase 1 tests, and comprehensive coverage of current affairs. Okay, now this is the dashboard that you would have for crash course. And let me show you, these are the sections that we would be catering. We would also be adding a few chapters which are new in finance. So don't worry, that update will be done very shortly. So you have economic survey, government scheme, important reports, live mint, PIB, phase 1 and 2 GA, finance news, RBI Bolt. We are going to be discussing important ones, quant reasoning, union budget. All these things will be covered in 90 plus live classes, which is a part of the crash course. Okay, so today, yes, we do have a class already going on. So I'm sorry, it's a clash here. So you can, if you have missed that, you can see in your dashboard later. It is GA 2023 part 1, and we also have a PIB in news class for January. Okay, so all these things are being taken care of, wherein the important information is being discussed from the point of view of the examination. Plus friends, very important, we have a Telegram channel which is exclusively for regulatory exams, RBI, Nabard, SEBI, IRDAI, IFSCA, SIDBI, all those examinations if you're giving, please join this Telegram channel. The link for which is there in the description box of this video. You will get regular updates regarding important sessions. You'll get free ebooks to be studied. You'll get 10 MCQs every day for practice. You get mind maps for practice. Okay, you can just see those mind maps and retain information. You have RBI snippets which are there every day which is being released. So please join the Telegram channel if you haven't done it yet. Okay, and this is our YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so that you get notification regarding important strategy sessions and other series that we have been taking. Okay, So yes guys, that's about it today, and if you really like the session, just give me a thumbs up there. It really shows your appreciation, and it shows we need to come back with such sessions in the future, right? We will also be having one session regarding descriptive answer writing in this week only. Don't worry, this week you will meet me on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every day at 7 p.m. okay, so don't worry, I'm going to be there discussing a couple of things with you. We'll be having some discussion which is going to be very important in terms of how to cater to your examination needs, right? So again, summarized version of RBI Bolt is being released to help you practice current affairs at this moment, which looks voluminous. So this is a very important tool for revision. You can access it from the comment which is going to be pinned very shortly after this particular session, right? So thank you so much. Okay, if the descriptive tests are not shown, don't worry, just see the descriptive tests tab and it will be updated very shortly. Guys, if any of your components are not showing, just drop us an email at support@oliveboard.in. Don't worry, put in your details, we'll unlock those things for you. You don't have to panic. Whatever is promised to you will be provided, because we want to make sure that you do your preparations effectively. So please trust and don't worry about anything. Okay? Thank you so much guys. Let's meet again, and before that I just want you to make sure you are following this plan in case you are somebody who feels that you haven't been preparing well and you have lost track. In case you have joined the session late, please watch the session after it is ended. We have come up with a detailed study plan for each day for the next 15 days, which also includes the number of hours, the components, etc. Okay? Thank you so much guys, and I hope to see you again on Wednesday, wherein we'll have one more session. Thank you so much, and yes, please do not forget to subscribe to our Telegram channel. Thank you.